To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The New Jersey Open Public Meeting Law was enacted to ensure the right of the public to have advance notice and to attend the meetings of public bodies at which any business affecting their interests is discussed or acted upon. In accordance with the provisions of the Act, the Fort Lee Board of Education has caused notice of this meeting to be published on November 28, 2023, and posted on the district website at www.flboe.com, published in the board's designated online media outlet newspapers, The Record and the Star Ledger, filed with the clerk of the Borough of Fort Lee, and mailed to all persons, if any, who have requested said notice. Please be advised that this meeting is being taped and may be broadcasted on local TV and the district website at a future date. The Open Public Meeting Act allows for remote participation at board meetings and defines meeting as any gathering where audio or by means of communication equipment is attended by or open to all members of the public body, held with the intent on the part of the members of the body present to discuss or act as a unit upon the specific public business of that body. The results from the November 7, 2023 election were as follows. 3 board members who were elected to 3-year terms: Ms. Amy Kotang with 2,418 votes, Ms. Kimberly Curry with 2,354 votes, Ms. Tanya Byers-Kang with 2,351 votes, and 1 board member for the 1-year unexpired term, Douglas Lopez, with 2,382 votes. I will ask the newly elected officials to please approach the podium for the swearing in of the vote.
I, Amy Kotang,
Do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
and I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
and to the governments established in the United States
and to the governments established in the United States
and this state under the authority of the people, so help me God.
and this state under the authority of the people, so help me God. I, Amy Kotang,
Do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I possess the qualifications prescribed by law
that I possess the qualification prescribed by law
for the office of member of the Board of Education,
for the office of member of a Board of Education,
and that I am not disqualified as a voter pursuant to RS 19-4-1,
and that I am not disqualified as a voter pursuant to RS 19-4-1,
nor disqualified due to a conviction of a crime or offense listed in NJSA 18A 12-1,
nor disqualified due to the conviction of a crime or offense listed in NJS 18A 12-1,
and that I will faithfully, impartially, and justly perform all the duties of that office according to the best of my ability to perform.
and that I will faithfully, impartially, and justly perform all the duties of the office according to the best of my abilities, so help me God. Thank you. Thank you.
I, Tanya Byers-Kang, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the
Constitution of the State of New Jersey, and I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same and to the governments established in the United States and this state under the authority of the people. So help me God. I, Tanya Byers-Kang, do solemnly swear or affirm that I possess the qualifications prescribed by law for the office of member of a Board of Education, and that I am not disqualified as a voter pursuant to RS 19-4-1, nor disqualified due to a conviction of a crime or offense listed in NJS 18A 12-1, and that I will faithfully, impartially, and justly perform all the duties of the office according to the best of my ability, so help me God.
I, Douglas Lopez, do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey, and I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same and to the governments established in the United States and this state under the authority of the people, so help me God. I, Douglas Lopez, do solemnly swear or affirm that I possess the qualifications prescribed by law for the office of the member of the Board of Education, and I am not disqualified as a voter pursuant to RS 19-4-1, nor disqualified due to conviction of a crime or offense listed in NJS 18A 12-1, and I will faithfully, impartially, justly perform all the duties of the office according to the best of my ability, so help me God.
I, Kimberly Curry, do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey, and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same and to the governments established in the United States and this state, under the authority of the people, so help me God. I, Kimberly Curry, do solemnly swear or affirm that I possess the qualifications prescribed by law for the office of member of the Board of Education, and I am not disqualified as a voter pursuant to RS 19-4-1, nor disqualified due to conviction of a crime or offense listed in NJS 18A 12-1, and that I will faithfully, impartially, and justly perform all the duties of that office accordingly to the best of my ability, so help me God.
Take a picture with your family members?
You guys want to take a picture of us?
You guys. I'll now do roll call. Ms. Byers-Kang.
Here.
Mrs. Curry. Here. Mr. Knight.
Here.
Mrs. Kotang.
Here.
Mr. Lopez.
Here.
Ms. Morel.
Here.
Mrs. Richter. Here. Mr. Rubino.
Here.
Ms. Koldak. Here. The floor is now open for nominations. Any member may place a member's name in nomination. A second is not required. Election for each office will be conducted by a roll call when the nominations for that office are closed. The candidate receiving the votes of a majority of board members will be elected to the office. The duties of the president and the vice president are outlined in District Policy 0171. The floor is now open for nominations for the office of the presidency.
I nominate Paula Colback.
I nominate Kristen Ritter.
Are there any other nominations? None? Do any of the nominees wish to share a brief statement? You go first.
No, I'm fine. I think people have seen me operating as president.
So we're gonna do a roll call for Paula Colback as president of the Board of Education. Mrs. Byers-King.
Yes.
Mrs. Curry.
Yes.
Mr. Knight.
Wait.
Can you actually repeat that?
I said this is for the nomination for Ms. Paula Colback as the president of the Board of Education. There were two nominations, Paula and Kristen. So I'm going through the roll call.
Got it. No.
Mrs. Cotain.
No.
Mr. Lopez.
No.
Ms. Morel.
No.
Mrs. Richter.
No.
Mr. Rubino.
Yes.
And Mrs. Colback. Yes. Now we'll do it for Kristen. Okay. Mrs. Byers-King. For Kristen.
I can't vote yes twice, so no.
Mrs. Curry.
No.
And Mr. Knight. For Kristen as the board of president.
Yes.
Mrs. Cotain.
Yes.
Mr. Lopez.
Yes.
Ms. Morel.
Yes.
Mrs. Richter.
Yes.
Mr. Rubino.
No.
Ms. Colback.
No.
Okay. Congratulations, Mrs. Richter. You are now the president of the board.
Okay, the floor is now open for nominations for the office of the vice presidency.
I nominate Paula Colback.
I nominate Holly Morel.
Any other nominations?
Are there any other nominations? Do nominees wish to share a brief statement? Roll call, please.
For Paula first?
Yeah, for Paula. Okay, we do alphabetical order.
So, Mrs. Byers-Cotain.
What? What was that?
Mrs. Byers-King, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Mrs. Curry. Yes. Mr. Knight.
No.
Mrs. Cotain.
No.
Mr. Lopez.
No.
Ms. Morel.
No.
Mrs. Richter.
No.
Mr. Rubino.
Yes.
Mrs. Colback. Yes. And now for Ms. Morel as vice president, Mrs. Byers-King.
Yes.
No.
I know that, no.
Mrs. Curry.
I changed up a little bit.
Mr. Knight.
No.
Mrs. Cotain.
Yes.
Mr. Lopez.
Yes.
Ms. Morel.
Yes.
Mrs. Richter.
Yes.
Mr. Rubino.
No.
And Ms. Colback.
No.
Nina, I don't think he voted that.
Well, but he voted.
So we-
I'm having a hard time with audio. And I'm sorry, I'm having a hard time with the audio.
Okay. So
I just want to be clear that I just want to be clear about my vote.
Okay, we'll do a revote. So we'll first do Ms. Colback, and then we'll do Ms. Morel second. So Dina will call roll again for Ms. Colback.
Mrs. Byers Kang.
Yes.
Mrs. Curry.
Yes.
Mr. Knight.
No.
Mrs. Kotang.
No.
Mr. Lopez.
No.
Ms. Morel.
No.
Mrs. Richter.
No.
Mr. Rubino.
Yes.
Ms. Colback.
Yes.
Now this is for Holly.
Okay, so now this is for Holly for vice president.
Mrs. Byers Kang.
No.
Mrs. Curry.
No.
Mr. Knight.
Yes.
Mrs. Kotang.
Yes.
Mr. Lopez.
Yes.
Ms. Morel.
Yes.
Mrs. Richter.
Yes.
Mr. Rubino.
No.
Ms. Colback.
No.
Congratulations, Mrs. Morel. Ms.
Are there any board members who have questions or comments on tonight's agenda or any other topic?
Yeah, I mean, I think Robert was gonna
Yep.
make, some explanations on resolutions
So,
6.
so some of the traditional nominations that we make for some of the services, the purchase services, I know Ms. Passeri and I have been working to make sure that they're aligned with our timelines. So you'll notice, for example, for the auditor, for the legal services, for the architectural, for banking as well, that we will be going through an RFP process, which is a request for proposal. Once the committees are established, they will be presented to committees, they will have rubrics. And then as we send out the request for proposals from any of the entities in the law field, as well as all the others I just mentioned, will then be evaluated by each committee, presented to the board, and then a decision will be made so that would align with our school year, which would be July 1st until June 30th. So the request for proposals ideally would go out in February. They would finish the evaluation process somewhere between March and April. And then we would appoint them for July 1st of 2024, and their contracts would run until the end of the school year, which would be June 30th of 2025. That's what we're trying to align with a lot of those contracts. Is there any other comments regarding that?
No, we're also probably going to be going out to bid for, I know, Tim approached me today regarding the security. We're also going to be looking at the cleaning services that we have for the nighttime crew and also for landscaping, so all those will be covered.
Any other questions or comments from board members? May I have a motion to open the floor to the public?
Motion.
Second.
Motion Morale, second Curry. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed or abstentions? We will hear first from any members of the public that are physically located at the cafeteria. Then we will take questions and comments from those participating remotely. For remote public participants, please select the raise hand button. District Technology Coordinator, Mr. Ruggiero, will recognize each community member in order of raised hands by lowering the hand. Please unmute your microphone and state your name and home address for the record and begin your comments. Please limit your comments to 3 minutes. Do we have any members of the public here tonight who wish to make a public comment?
Thank you. Good evening. Can you hear me? Yes. Yeah. My name is Sarah. I have 2 kids in the district, and I live on 2nd Street in Fort Lee. So congratulations to the new Board of Education members. I thank you all for your service. 2024, we're in a new year, and it's a time to kind of set priorities. So I wanted to speak to priorities for our district as a parent in the district. So there's been a group of parents who have come pretty regularly to the Board of Education meetings, and they prioritize things like, first, attacking our school librarians. They've been posting kind of salacious books on Facebook, saying that our school libraries hold these books, which they don't. They've been attacking our teachers and staff, saying that they're indoctrinating our children to become LGBTQ, which our teachers are not. And thirdly, they've been trying to end policies that protect our LGBTQ kids. These are priorities that they're suggesting our district focus on. From my perspective as a mom in the district, those are not the priorities that I support. And I wanted to say first to our school librarians, we love and respect you. You're doing an amazing job. Secondly, to our teachers and staff, we love and respect you, and I'm honored that my children are in your care. And to our LGBTQ students, parents, families, and staff, I want to say we love and respect you. We welcome you in our district, and you have our complete respect and honor. As a parent, I wanted to offer some alternative priorities for our district for your consideration as you plan for the next school year. First, I would love to see a longer-term strategic plan for our district, really a thoughtful process to look at where are we today and where do we want to be 3 to 5 years from now, particularly around student academic performance in areas like math where we've slipped a little bit. Secondly, I'd love to see a focus on our teacher and staff shortage. I know Dr. Kravitz and Ms. Baker have been doing an excellent job there, but really continuing that priority and doubling down on it. And thirdly, I'd love to see a focus on diversity. So things like neurodiversity, really supporting, again, our special education, and really becoming a national leader in that space, as well as other kinds of diversity, like language diversity and representation in our teachers and staff for the very diverse community we have in Fort Lee. And finally, as you think about that planning, I'll just mention one more point, and that's, I think there's some really good examples in Bergen County as we look to our neighbors. There's Westwood that really followed this right-wing agenda. They ended policies that protect LGBTQ kids, and that are mired in lawsuits. A lot of their budget is going out to lawyers, and they're not in compliance with the New Jersey Department of Education as they should be. It's really a bad business decision. If you look then at Tenafly, for instance, they stayed in compliance with the state for health curriculum. They stayed in compliance with the state to protect LGBTQ kids. And they have a diversity committee for parents and students, and are really thriving in terms of student academic performance and teachers. So as we see those examples, I really want to urge our board not to go down the path of Westwood and really stay focused on our kids and teachers. So thank you very much and Happy New Year.
Thank you, Sarah. Are there any other public participants in the cafeteria who want to speak?
Hello, Happy New Year. Congratulations to the new members of the board. My name is Alex. I also live at 2454 2nd Street in Fort Lee. I also have 2 children in the district. And I just wanted to add another voice, another parental voice behind the message that Fort Lee should be a district that is about inclusivity, about togetherness, about protecting our children, regardless of their gender identity, the language they speak, their sexuality. I believe that all of our children deserve a safe, welcoming school environment, one in which they are not going to be outed against their wishes, and one in which they find that their teachers and their principals and their guidance counselors are there for them. One that is student-centered, one that is respectful of parents' rights, but not to sacrifice the rights of our children. So again, congratulations to new members. I hope that we can move forward, as the previous speaker said, with some very positive and encouraging policies for our children. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Brad Raimondo. I live at 2298 Lemoyne Avenue. I am the parent of a kindergartner at school number 3. I'm coming here tonight at the beginning of a new year. Congratulations to new members of the board and to new board officers. I'm coming with a lot of hope, and I'm also coming with a lot of fear. I'm coming with a lot of fear as the parent of a gender nonconforming child, of a child who is still figuring out his gender identity and expression. I am afraid of what will become of my child if Fort Lee chooses to go down the path of Westwood. And I'm hopeful that that is not the choice that Fort Lee is going to make, especially, as we said, at the beginning of a new year, with new faces on the board, with new board officers. I think it's an opportunity to take a new tack. So I want to say, as a parent, for my own child and for all the children in our schools, I hope that, among other things this year, we will see the board, the administration, taking proactive steps to meet the responsibilities laid out in existing board policy and regulations, to provide ongoing anti-bias education for all students, to create a school environment that is free from harassment, intimidation, and bullying. On that subject, I would like to note that this board's regulations define harassment, intimidation, and bullying as including specifically harassment, intimidation, and bullying based on sexual orientation, family status, perceived or actual gender identity or expression. However, the current version of our student code of conduct does not explicitly forbid bullying, intimidation, or harassment based on gender identity, sexual orientation, or family status. As a parent, I would love to see our code of conduct updated to fully, to match the definition of bullying, intimidation, and harassment that is already part of the board's regulations. I think we have an opportunity, as a previous speaker said, to really make Fort Lee a model of inclusion. We are blessed to be one of the most diverse communities in the state and in the country. And I think that that calls on us to create a genuinely welcoming environment, not just by the things we choose not to do, but by the things we affirmatively choose to do. Thank you.
Are there any other members?
Hello, can you hear me? Hi, my name is Albert. I live at 100 Old Palisades. First of all, I want to congratulate all our new Board of Ed members. I'm super excited and wish you all the best of luck. I look forward to seeing you all working together for our community. I just had a couple of things in mind in terms of what I want the Board of Ed to prioritize. First is to set long-term goals. So as of today, when I go to the Board of Ed website, if I go to district and board goals, it still shows 2019 to 2020 goals. So I'm surprised it hasn't been updated for a while. So I would like to see a 5-year strategic planning goal. Personally felt there were many distractions these past few years, such as COVID and the whole health curriculum debate. So I would like for us to be more long-term strategic planning focused. Second, I hope we will continue to ensure positive outcomes for all students and to promote a diverse and inclusive student, teacher, and admin body. Third, I also want to see if we can establish new data systems, perhaps leverage latest technology such as AI, so we can analyze how we can improve test scores. For example, does the data show that supplemental curriculum that we offer improve better or even worse test scores? And maybe we can analyze how we can have better retention. As I saw many students move to other suburbs in Bergen County or even private schools before 9th grade. As far as I know, this has always been a trend for Fort Lee, but now in 2024 is the time to change this. And we can do it. I believe we can. And that's only if we all work together. So I ask all board members to work together, embrace data and technology. Don't be afraid of tech. It takes time. and see how we can improve our results. And lastly, I hope we can continue to evaluate our building facilities and their long-term improvement so there's less disruption to students. For example, I was shocked that high school freshman girls' daily volleyball practices were still held here in the intermediate school immediately after classes were over. And it's quite a long walk, right? It's over a mile to walk here. They're hungry, they're tired, and then they practice and they might have a game. So yeah, I'm just really looking forward to how we can see things change in the long run. Thank you.
Are there any other members of the public present in the cafeteria that wish to speak? Okay. Mr. Ruggiero, are there members of the public participating remotely who wish to comment?
Yes, Mike, also, you've been promoted to panelist. Please unmute your microphone and feel free to share your video. Please state your name and address for the record. You have 3 minutes.
Congratulations, everyone. Welcome to a new year. My name is Mike Osso, resident 230 Warren Avenue. Policy number 9240. The Board of Education recognizes that the parents or legal guardians of each child are ultimately responsible for the care and custody of that child, and that both parents or legal guardians share the responsibility equally. The board recognizes as well that where only one parent has legal custody of a child, the rights and responsibilities of the other parent may be limited. The board believes that the interests of the child are best served by continuing involvement of both parents in the child's life and well-being. The board will presume that each natural or adoptive parents or legal guardians of a pupil enrolled in this district possesses full parental rights of access to the pupil and to information about the pupil, notwithstanding any separation of the parents or legal guardians or dissolution of their marriage. Accordingly, in the absence of notice to the contrary to the board of directs that school administrators accommodate the needs of both parents or the legal guardians for access to their child's teachers, and to information about their child. Full disclosure to the parents, policy number 9240. Everyone, I'm wishing you a happy new year. Honor this policy. Do not rescind this policy. We're in the middle of a moral war. Do not limit parents' accessibility to the child. All right? You are not judges and juries of parents. Our children belong to us. We are the responsibility of the child. Peace.
C, you have been promoted to panelist. Please unmute your microphone and feel free to share your video. Please state your name and address for the record. You have 3 minutes. C?
Hi, I'm sorry, this is my first time. Can you see me?
Yes.
Okay, my name's Candace, and I'm actually a parent of 2, and I live on Westby Place, and I am a voter, and I actually wrote down what I wanted to say because this is very important to me. So I first wanted to congratulate all of you, but I wanted to ask that you please reconsider the previous decision to reject the updated state learning standards, because when you rejected these statewide learning standards, especially when there's an opt-out option in place, you actually take away my right as a parent to decide what's appropriate for my own child. And it's interesting that the previous person or resident was talking about parental rights, because by rejecting those standards, you took away my right to dictate learning for my child. We're the only town in Bergen County to have rejected these health curriculum standards, and worse, I'm fearful of the agenda put forth by some parents that spoke at the last meeting, asking you to revisit 5756. This policy was specifically passed to protect children and support the safe space we all strive to provide for our youngest members of this community. And by revisiting it, it removes that sense of safety and undermines those that work tirelessly to create that safe space. Schools are centers, I believe schools are centers of our community. And I ask that we please protect them by supporting our educators and keeping our children safe by leaving 5756 alone, and instead using our time to partner with our educators to see how we can really support them with the resources they so badly need. I'm encouraged by this new leadership, and I hope that we can focus on things like curriculum that moves away from teaching to the test and being so worksheet and homework heavy. Things like SEL training for all teachers, like responsive classroom, to truly provide safe, inclusive spaces for our children. And in general, even now with lunch not being free for those families that so badly need that free lunch and children that need that free lunch. I appreciate you letting me speak on this, and I look forward to seeing what you all do this year.
Thank you.
JPF, you've been promoted to panelist. Please unmute your microphone and feel free to share your video. Please state your name and address for the record. You have 3 minutes. JPF.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Jay Paranata Freed. I'm a resident of 1 Wall Street and a parent of a first grade child at school number 3. Before I begin, I want to extend my congratulations to all the Board of Education members on your recent election and with the election of the board leadership tonight at this meeting. I look forward to seeing us work hand in hand together in making sure that everyone in our community truly feels supported, seen, and heard. Please let me repeat that. I'd like everyone here in this room in our community to feel supported, seen, and heard. There are not many openly gay men who are parents in our school district, but I personally lead with pride and joy representing this demographic alongside my husband, Scott, who has been a school teacher at the Department of Education in New York City for over a decade now. I have been legally married to my husband since 2013, which is monumental in feeling included, accepted, and seen by my country as well as my community. We are both members of the LGBTQ community. When you think diversity and who you're speaking about when you talk about gay rights, you truly are speaking about people like me. I have a face. I am a Filipino American, a second-generation immigrant, a husband to a cisgender man, and a father of a child born via surrogacy. When you think diversity, you think me. When you speak about policies representing teaching children about homosexuality and acceptance, remember that people like me exist. We want to feel included. My child represents the new generation of youth who have a different upbringing, but her being diverse and different does not make her quote unquote wrong. It actually means that we need to uplift and support those in terms of the educators as well as the policymakers, the people like you sitting in that room to represent us in a way that is meaningful, wholesome, and inclusive. And once again, the real reason I'm speaking for you, of speaking on behalf today in terms of this community, in terms of the LGBTQ community, because I personally want to feel supported, seen, and heard. Thank you so much for your time.
Howard Lipoff, you've been promoted to panelist. Please unmute your microphone and feel free to share your video. Please state your name and address for the record. You have 3 minutes. Howard Lipoff.
Hello, let me start my video. Oops, there I am. Thank you very much. I'm Howard Lipoff. I am a teacher in the building. You are in the Lewis F. Cole Intermediate School. I live at 161 Main Street in Little Falls, and I am the treasurer of the Fort Lee Education Association. For many years, I've been attending board meetings. I used to do more in person. This has become easy for me to come home from work and be able to not drive back. But for many years, I've been attending board meetings. I think this is the one I'm enjoying the most. Not only does there seem to be some excitement in bringing in some new members of the board, but also the comments of the parents, because these are comments that are so much in line with my organization, the Fort Lee Education Association, which represents the vast majority of the workforce in Fort Lee's public schools, that talk about wanting inclusive education, togetherness, bringing our diverse community in learning about, having the students learn about the diversity there in so many different ways. I just want to say to the parents, I know there was Alex, I can't remember, or I couldn't catch all their names, but I want them to know that the Fort Lee Education Association is very committed to working so that all the children in the schools feel included, feel like they're represented through the education, they're helped throughout, and nobody, no child in our school district should feel like they do not belong. So it was wonderful hearing these parents. Number one, they said very nice things about the staff of the school. I appreciate it, and I know the members of the Fort Lee Education Association appreciate it, and the level of positivity and wanting to be inclusive and not go down a divisive road, which unfortunately some other places have done. I think that's very positive. So that's our goal for 2024, and I have great hope that we'll all be successful in that. I want to thank the new board president, who I guess called on me, and have a wonderful evening.
Thank you.
There are no more raised hands.
Thank you. May I have a motion?
I'm sorry, I have a recently raised hand. Leonid, you've been promoted to panelist. Please unmute your microphone and feel free to share your video. Please state your name and address for the record. You have 3 minutes. Leonid?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, this is very quick. I just don't understand. Why are we focusing on gender identity at school? Why we are behind?
Please state your name and address for the record.
Leonid Makarov, 458 Westview Place. So basically, very quick comment. Why are we focusing on gender identity politics while we are behind in academics? Like, for example, math program is horrible. My daughter is 2 levels ahead, not because of public education, but because she takes private classes. So that's my understanding is that what I want is to focus on academics instead of gender identity. That's it for me.
Thank you. Are there any other?
Yes, Aten Hassan, you've been promoted to panelist. Please unmute your microphone and feel free to share your video. Please state your name and address for the record. You have 3 minutes. Aten Hassan?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so I listen and I attend to most of these meetings, and I'm usually quiet. I just like to listen and understand what's happening. I like what Mr. Leonid said, and I want to focus more on the curriculum. So I'm going to continue to attend and just observe and take in what everybody said, but I would like to focus more on the curriculum. Thank you, Mr. Leonid, for saying that. It is supposed to be about the curriculum and about, of course, obviously, everyone wants their kids to be respected, of course. So that's just a given, that's for everybody. But I'd like more about the science of reading. If you can focus, if you can learn more about that, getting teachers that are educated in the science of reading, because as you know, Teachers College has been canceled basically. And we have been following that curriculum for a while. And that's not, good for the kids anymore, as a statistic state. So, yeah, that's what I wanted to share. I'm going to continue to attend and see what else you present, because I'm really interested in learning about the different ways that you can make the curriculum better for all the children. Thank you.
Thank you.
There are no more raised hands.
May I have a motion to close the floor to the public?
Motion, second.
Motion, Rubino, second Kovac. All in favor? Any opposed or abstentions? Moving on to resolutions. We will be approving reorganization motions by consent agenda, approving all items together without individual motions, but will read aloud the school code of ethics. Board secretary will begin reading agenda item E, the adoption of the school code of ethics. Each board member will read aloud into the hearing of the public each tenet of the school code of ethics, starting with the board member to my far left. This agenda item is found on page 4. Tina, will you please begin?
A school board member shall abide by the following code of ethics for school board members. Are we reading it simultaneously?
I think we're each reading a letter.
Okay.
Is that how it is? We're each
Yeah,
reading a letter?
so you can start, if you want to start with Doug. Well, we can read it all simultaneously is what we started.
Last year, we read it all together.
You want to read it all together? 9 of us.
Yeah.
All together? Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. All right.
We'll start.
You can start with A.
Should we start with the top or
We start with letter A.
Okay. All right, are we ready? Let's all go together. I will uphold and enforce all laws, rules, and regulations of the State Board of Education
and court orders pertaining to schools. Desired changes shall be brought about only through legal and ethical procedures. I will make decisions in terms of the educational welfare of children and will seek to develop and maintain public schools that meet the individual needs of all children, regardless of their ability, race, creed, sex, or social standing. I will confine my board action to policy making, planning, and appraisal, and I will help to frame policies and plans only after the board has consulted those who will be affected by them. I will carry out my responsibilities not to administer the schools, but together with my fellow board members to see that they are well run. I will recognize that authority rests with the Board of Education and will make no personal promises nor take any private action that may compromise the board. I will refuse to surrender my independent judgment to special interests or partisan political groups, or to use the schools for personal gain or for the gain of friends. I will hold confidential all matters pertaining to schools which, if disclosed, would needlessly injure individuals or the schools. In all matters, I will provide accurate information and, in concert with my fellow board members, interpret to the staff the aspirations of the community for its school. I will vote to appoint the best qualified personnel available after consideration of the recommendation of the Chief Administrative Officer. I will support and protect school personnel in the proper performance of their duties. I will refer all complaints to the Chief Administrative Officer and will act on the complaints at public meetings only after failure of an administrative solution.
Thank you. May I have a motion to approve items A through Y?
Motion.
Second.
Motion Morel, second Rubino. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Byers Kang.
Yes.
Mrs. Curry. Yes. Mr. Knight.
Yes.
Mrs. Kotak.
Yes.
Mr. Lopez.
Yes.
Ms. Morel.
Yes.
Mrs. Richter.
Yes.
Mr. Rubino.
Yes.
Ms. Colback. Yes.
The The board president and vice president will convene within the next few days to assign members to the various committees and to assign seating for our board members at board meetings. Please be sure you submit your completed committee and liaison interest forms to the board secretary prior to leaving today's meeting. May I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Motion,
Second.
Rubino, second, Colback, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you all for coming tonight. Have a good night.